the Raiders on the road. All of a sudden, everyone's kind of resurgent on the Raiders. You were on Green Dot Daily with me earlier today. Everyone should watch it. Green Dot Daily noon, Action Network HQ on Twitter, Action Network YouTube, in the Action Network app, setting the agenda daily for sports bettors. We talked about the Raiders in a sneaky way as a future. Why don't you explain to people what choice you made on the show?
About giving them out for playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked at all the different teams and the schedules, and again, it's just you're basing it off grades and math, and it's like take the human element out of it, right? Don't try to look at Las Vegas as a 2-4 team. Just go blank slate and look at them on paper. The 7th most efficient offense. That's a big deal in a year where the scoring's so low. We have a team here that we know can score and produce. And again, you go through it again in one possession games, they're 1-5. That's a big deal. We know what happened against the Chiefs. They lost by 1 point. And the Chiefs looked like, again, the top 2 team in the AFC, lost by 1 point. I just looked at that and thought to myself, okay, if the numbers back it up, you're going to find good value on this Vegas team. And there is. Again, you can get a plus 350 at certain books for them to make the playoffs. The 2-4 right now, I get it. It's bad. I said to Chad, they could easily 4-2. Like that game against Arizona, that game against the Chiefs, those could have flipped easily and been towards this Vegas team, which if that had happened, what are we looking at? Minus 150 because the way their schedule is going to end to make the playoffs. They should just be way higher. I put it closer to plus 200, plus 175 than I do at plus 300, plus 350. So the Vegas to me about them being a sneaky playoff team, it's more about how easy their schedule is and the fact that the Chargers have major injuries and Denver is just falling apart, right? So in that division, that's really sneaky. And the last play of it is they play the last game of the year against the Chiefs. And to me, again, you never know. The Bills, they're 0-1 in their division right now. So it's going to be interesting how they play in their division going forward, the Bills. But we all assume the Chiefs will get the 2 seed. So I could easily see them using that final week as a rest week before heading into the playoffs.
The Raiders are 2-point favorites against the Saints in this game. I mean, it's a short home underdog. We've generally backed the Saints before. We believe in their defense. Excellent at getting pressure without blitzing. Andy Dalton turned back into the orange pumpkin that we believed he was this past week. And I don't know. I was all over the Cardinals, loved the Cardinals on Thursday night. You did not. So is your opinion changed for this week? Do you like the Saints as short home dogs?
Yeah, it's changed in the sense that I do think the Lattimore injury has been a big deal to them. Their defense has not really got any stops since he's been out. And that's one of these, maybe I'll wait and see the injury report because they don't have him to cover Devontae Adams. It's over. Like anytime they need a third down, they're getting it with him. We've seen the effect with it Green Bay. Green Bay looks totally lost. And that's the only piece they lost was Devontae Adams. It's incredible where it's like that important on third down to have a guy you can trust and go to. And then we've seen it with Josh Jacobs these last 3 weeks. He's the best running back in football, which is just bizarre to say, but contract year for the kid. So everything right now is just rolling on this Vegas team. McDaniels seems like he's got the pulse of this team. We look at the other way with the Saints. That felt like the everything game against the Cardinals. Like, I don't know what they're going to do from this position. They don't even have their own first-round pick this upcoming draft, so they're not going to be tanking for any quarterbacks. Dark days for the Saints right now. So this line stinks. But at the same time, I think you're getting good value. I got this at -3 for Vegas. Again, better offense, more talented defense. I'm just trying not to overrate this Saints team like I have been, where I like their identity of running the ball. It doesn't matter if Andy Dalton's going to be turning the ball over. Again, 4 interceptions last game. They're not all on him, but some of them are just terrible reads. And that's the problem with Andy Dalton. And I don't know, the Raiders, to me, in this position, anything under a 3 kind of has to be a buy. I don't know if it's going to make our contest, but I'll be on it, the -1.5.